Mark here for another great Wisdom and Knowledge 5 podcast episode. And the week after the election, with so-called change on the horizon, I wanted to bring on Corey Myles, who really understands what's going on in the world, and how the world is run to talk about everything that is happening, post-election and for the future of our world. Corey, thanks so much for coming on as a guest. I really appreciate it.
Glad to be here. So,
Yeah, and just a programming note, next week I am going to have a special guest. I am bringing on Chase Oliver. He ran as a libertarian candidate for presidency. But Corey, let's get into it. Everyone seems to be, lulled into this hope since Trump got elected. Now, you and I were really not surprised that Trump got elected and that he won big. Well, I'm not surprised. Are you?
no, I'm not really surprised at all. I mean, a lot of people are seeing a lot of flags and people like supporting them. So I'm not surprised at all.
No, and you see that on that side, and on the other side, you just don't, I mean, there's some support, but it was just, to begin with. And I think a lot of the, younger generation who's sick of the war, sick of, billions of dollars being given to Israel to wipe out, innocent, uh, you know, civilians in Palestine and other regions, Lebanon, other regions, they were sick of that, or the billions going to Ukraine. They were sick of that, and they came out and said, "Hey, we don't want this." You
Yeah,
know,
the voted for him. So we'll see. But I think it's the same story, regardless
well,
who comes in
yeah.
there. So
Regardless of who's in office, it's all who controls things. It's
yeah,
it's both the both sides, the Democrats, the Republicans. It's more of the same. Who are you going to serve? Your lobbyists. You're going to serve your special interests. You know, and the fact that they are so heavily involved with organizations like APAC, which is a pro-Israel organization, that should be illegal. That should be illegal right there. You know what I mean?
yeah, it should be, but it's the way society is now, I guess, with him being in there. So,
It's so
but I
much, yeah, they think, oh, well, he's not and we've already had 4 years of this guy. We've
yeah,
already had that. And look at 2020, lockdowns under him, you know, the
yeah,
lockdowns that, wreck people's businesses that, and those in the camp of what for medical freedom, and this guy, or natural health, medical freedom, you name it, and this guy comes out in 2020s with Operation Warp Speed saying, I'm the father of the COVID vaccine, and just worshiping this COVID vaccine.
yeah, definitely. And it's done a lot of side effects to people from dying and all that stuff, and but people still continue to follow him. So,
Well, and the thing too is that they're bringing in people like they're bringing in people to, and like RFK Jr. Just became the Department of Health and Human Services, and with all these, with big pharma and such being so involved, and other corporations being so involved with our politics, do you really think these people coming in are going to, be able to radically change, our food system, our, uh, medical system? Do you think they're going to be able to make a difference for, freedom of people, medical freedom of people, and such?
no, it's about the same. I think it's just be the same as it was before. Probably even worse, probably.
Well, in my opinion, and I'd like to get your take on this, it's like we choose these people to lull people to sleep because there's so many people out here that were saying, oh, well, Agenda 25 or Project 2025, I should, that's what it was called. And it was a think tank by some organization, and who supported Trump. Well, it's not Project 2025, it's Agenda 2030. People need to wake up and say, it's Agenda 2030, and that's what we're taking a stand against. This Project 2025, Trump came out and said, look, I know nothing about that. And, yeah, he may be lying, but, this is all about Agenda 2030. That's what they want to, that's their goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that the get to 2030 to happen, but it might even though it says 2030, it might happen before that. I'm thinking.
Well, it seems like they're behind too. And another thing
Yeah.
too is this. You have Donald Trump, who's gone to the World Economic Forum, and I get these leaders that they all go to the World Economic Forum, but he's said, "Thank you, Klaus. Thank you, Klaus. Whoa, such a great guy, Klaus Schwab." So wait a minute. So we're just people are supposed to just place their trust in, a guy that worship Klaus Schwab, who says you will own nothing and you'll be happy, and a guy that uh, you know, I invented the COVID vaccine, and which we know he didn't, but he was praising it, touting it. A guy that's we've had 4 years of, and it wasn't any better. He drained the swamp. That never happened. All these different things. Not only that, you have people that he's aligned with, like Rudy Giuliani got up at Madison Square Garden this was like a week before the election, and he gets up there and she says, Palestinians are taught at age 2 to kill Americans. See, they put this rhetoric out, they put these lies, and the fact that he's aligned with people like that and Musk, Musk he's going to name Musk the Department of Government Efficiency. Elon Musk, who's from South Africa, is going to overhead that. Neuralink, Elon Musk, who wants a brain chip implanted into us. And, you know, why are you surprised that so many think about it from this aspect? Are you surprised that so many Christians are obsessed with this guy like he's their Messiah and that they trust in somebody who's, working with Musk?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, people they've been getting in our brains about this guy
Mm-hmm.
the whole time since he was elected before. So, and I was thinking about the same thing about Elon Musk, because that is very interesting with Elon Musk. So Elon Musk can do a lot of things with him, then maybe get this World Economic Forum even further than it is now.
Well, the Agenda 2030, yeah,
Yeah, June
exactly.
2030,
The UN
sure.
Agenda 2030. And you look at it from another aspect, okay? You know, uh it was very strategic though, because those that, align with AI and transhumanism agenda is another big thing coming, and that makes perfect sense as to why they aligned him with Musk. But you align yourself with Musk, Joe Rogan, all these people to, lull them to sleep, the ones that were, standing up for our world, to lull them to sleep. And not only that, but those people who are into AI transhumanism are going to jump on board Team Trump.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that. I mean, he's getting the right people around him to involve this 2030 that people don't realize that's probably what's happening right now.
Yeah. And I think one thing that it's important to say is this, you know, uh, you and I, we would never vote for either candidate, and it's sad because there's not you know people who voted third party, you know, I, they got they were voting their conscience. They were voting what they thought was right. And you know what's funny is Trump won by so much that all these people who were on the who voted for Kamala. There's a lot of people that came out and said, "I hope you're happy you threw the election by voting for a third party candidate, whether it be Chase Oliver, uh, Jill Stein, or any other candidate." Uh, but they're voting their conscience, and they Trump won by so much that those votes did not make a difference in him winning. He won by that much over Kamala. And get this, there was an article that came out. This is mainstream NBC News that Kamala's campaign is still asking for donations because they're heavily in debt. The campaign that raised like billions of dollars overnight. It just really makes you wonder.
But I didn't even know that that was happening still.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. It's definitely happening. But one thing, and I think you'll agree with on, is people who, typically the identity politics is lost. The Republican, Democrats, red, blue, people want change. People want something different. And that's what you get with the Libertarian Party and, these other, candidates. Uh, and it's just like more of the same with the red versus blue, with the fighting, with and then not only that, all of them being funded by the same, BlackRock, Vanguard, the same, lobbyists, the same corporations. And it's just, there's a massive amount of people out there who want change. And one thing that I wanted to get your take on is people who are in a panic. It's like, that this guy got elected like he's going to be, a dictator. It's like, you know, you have the ability to think for yourself. You have the ability to take a stand. You have the ability to speak out. What are you thinking? By saying that. So you're gonna place this guy into such a high authority that you're gonna walk around in fear of your life. You're gonna change what you're thinking with your life. You know, it doesn't make sense. You live your own life. You control your own thoughts. You control your own thinking.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, they've already molded him. They already told him like people was telling him and brainwashing him the whole time with him. So people are
Mhm.
taught to think that way. So
And, one of the key things that people are sick of, and you and I included, is, why are we giving billions of dollars to other countries when our country is in need? Billions of dollars, not only to other countries, but for destruction. You know, let places like Israel take care of themselves. And people will say, "Oh, well, Israel's our ally. Israel's the chosen people," and it's like, if they're the chosen people, then what are us? And it's not race, it's not a ethnicity. It is, look, we live in America. Take care of your own country. And of course, you and I are both for less government involvement, the least government involvement possible. But when you have things that need to be addressed here, you shouldn't be giving billions there for that type of
yeah,
destruction.
definitely. But they've been doing that for so long, and I'm assuming they're all involved and helping out, and they're all connected to each other. So
Yeah.
very interesting.
It's just like this time around, because this is the second time for Trump, and then people, are it's just like you already had this 4 years of this. Nothing was accomplished. And it seems this time around, he's coming in guns blazing. I'm gonna hire this person, I'm gonna hire, RFK Jr. as Department of Health and Human Services. And it's like, okay, great. But what are these people going to accomplish? And it seems like this is all part of a plan, to say, hey, fool people into believing that things are going to be done. And yeah, it'd be great if things actually happen. But it just seems like it's a plan to lull people to sleep, and that it's going to be more of the same with the, same politics.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be the same, but it's more like it's gonna people might he's gonna change this election and it's gonna be different. That's all I can
Hmm.
say. Than it
Yeah.
was before with the stuff that's happened, especially Elon Musk and stuff. That's all I'd say.
Hmm. Yeah. So what do you see, as far as if somebody's out there and they're, let's say they're buying into this, what would you say to them? I mean, this guy, just look at his track record, just look at how, involved he is, with places like Israel, where it's almost like, that is who he's serving. He's not serving the American people.
No, I mean it's just serving them. I think there was a coin or a quarter or something that
Hmm.
had his name on there from Israel, I thought, but
Yeah, they did. They minted a coin there.
yeah,
Yeah. They also
yeah.
back in 2020 it was, it might have even been before that, but 2020 is when they sang this Super Trump song like he's their Messiah. And one other thing he said is that I will give, and I'm not picking on Israel, I'm just saying, he said, I will give them anything they want. Israel anything they want. And for those who think that he's going to end the war over there and the destruction, I mean, he may, but, and the sad thing is that, on the other side, if those people who voted for Kamala, they voted for, someone who knowingly supported the largest genocide in human history and funded it. And people were sick of it. And that's what helped people come out, and say, no, we don't want this. We don't want you. And because he commandingly won, because people were sick of war, people were sick of, this funding, and people did not want to support her because she had no remorse. She had no remorse. She had no, and she didn't have a platform, at all that resonated with people.
Yeah, yeah, to them, it's very, very defeated just in his election. But
Yeah,
like I said, we'll see what happens. But it's just all I can say is something's on the horizon with him.
yeah, exactly. So you're saying, basically what you're saying is, well, the same thing that I think, you know, like, be on alert, be like, don't let it control your life. Of course, continue to live your life, but, don't
Yeah,
trust the plan or drain the swamp. He's, it doesn't, he's already, he showed his true colors. We know what this is about. Sadly, so many people are lulled into the, he's gonna save the day, and it's not the thing. Or if you're from the other side, so somebody's, lulled into the, oh well, it's gonna ruin my life. I can't think anymore. And it's like, no, to both of those,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
just continue to live your life, speak out, speak truths, stand up for what you believe in, and live while you still can, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm. Well, he comes into office in January, and there's, and they already, and it's another thing, and I get that they always meet, but him and Biden met, on Wednesday, and they're like, peaceful transition and all this, shaking hands, and it's like, you know. these both sides, the red, the blue, it's all just a show. And until something changes, until, they dismantle this system or somebody else comes in, it's going to be the same thing, you know? And it's
Yeah,
not for the
that
people. Hmm.
yeah, it's the same thing. And like I said, it's just a show, acting, them
Hmm.
acting, saying on that, what is it, shaking hands like a peaceful resolution, but they're playing the part. That's all I can say. They're playing the
Hmm.
part.
And
People are
another thing
fall.
too, look at it from other aspects. There was so many things like on the Democrat side, where they promised, oh, we're gonna forgive everyone's student loans. That never happened
No, so
because it's
they're
not in the
just
best interest of them. If it doesn't
no,
serve them, it's not serving the people. It goes against serving
no,
the people. It's if it's not for their interest, if they don't have anything to gain for it, they're not gonna do it.
no.
Yeah. Well, I think the final message here is we have to continue to speak up. We have to continue to stand up, and we have to continue to, be a light in this world and stand up for what we believe in. Stand up against for peace. Stand up against war. Stand up against destruction. Stand up against, uh, tyranny. And you know, don't fall into the trap of these people are going to save us because it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's definitely a
Hmm.
smart way to do it. So
And, just be out there and, you know, understand fully what's going on, do your own research, understand fully what's going on in the world. That's what it takes, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Well, I really appreciate you coming on and discussing the, post election, the world that we live in. And, we just got to continue to take a stand. So thank you for, speaking out. And we need more people understanding fully what's going on so that we don't, fall into this dystopian world. We still have the power to be the solution. So we need to speak up.
yeah. Thank you for letting me on the show.
Oh, yeah. All right. Take care. Really appreciate it. And next week, I will be interviewing Chase Oliver, who ran as the Libertarian candidate for president. So you don't want to miss that episode. Much love to everyone.